Today let's see the classification of uveitis. Uveitis strictly should be meaning the inflammation of only uveal tissue. However, there is always an associated inflammation of the adjacent structures like the retina, sclera, vitreous humor, and the cornea. Diving into the classification of uveitis, we have four major classifications which we are going to talk about. The first being the anatomical classification, then the clinical classification, pathological classification, and lastly radiological classification. Let's start with the anatomical classification, which is also called as the SUN classification. It stands for Standardization of Uveitis Nomenclature, hence the name SUN classification. Next, moving on to the first category, that is the anterior uveitis. We have the involvement of iris and pars plicata part of the ciliary body. Inflammation of the iris is called iritis, and pars plicata inflammation is called cyclitis, and involvement of both of them is termed as iridocyclitis. And then moving on to the second category, that is the intermediate uveitis. It involves the next part, that is pars plana, inflammation of the pars plana, and also there might be associated inflammation of the peripheral retina. This is also called as pars planitis because of the inflammation of the pars plana. And then moving on to the last category, that is posterior uveitis. We have the inflammation of the choroid, and there might be an associated retinal involvement, based on which we have terms like choroiditis, where we have only the inflammation of choroid, chorioretinitis, where we have associated retina inflammation, and retinochoroiditis, where we have more retinal inflammation compared with choroid. And we have an inflammation of all the structures of the uvea, and the name is panuveitis for it. So these are the four types under the anatomical classification. Next, moving on to the clinical classification, we have acute, chronic, and recurrent. Any episode of inflammation lasting between 6 weeks to 3 months is said to be acute, and greater than 3 months is chronic, and repeated episodes with a gap of greater than 3 months is said to be recurrent. We have repeated episodes in recurrent. And then moving on to the next, that is the pathological classification. We have suppurative and non-suppurative. Again, non-suppurative can be classified based on Wood's classification into granulomatous and non-granulomatous. Then moving on to the last classification, that is etiological, we have infectious, non-infectious, and masquerade syndrome. Let's first see infectious. Under infectious causes, we can have bacterial, viral, fungal, or parasitic. Let's talk about few of these important causes. Under bacterial, we can have TB, leprosy, and syphilis, that is Treponema pallidum. Under viral, we can have CMV and HSV. Under fungal, we have candidiosis and aspergillosis. And under parasitic, we have toxoplasma. So among all of the causes, these are important to be remembered. That is about infectious uveitis. Coming to the non-infectious uveitis, we have autoimmune uveitis, under which we have HLA association. Examples include ankylosing spondylitis, Behçet's disease, and Reiter's syndrome. And then we also have atopic uveitis, traumatic uveitis, and toxic uveitis. They are under non-infectious. Moving on to the last one, that is masquerade syndrome. Here we have uveal inflammation due to a non-immune mediated cause. This mimics uveitis. It can be because of non-neoplastic cause or a neoplastic loss. Under non-neoplastic, we have intraocular foreign body, retinal detachment, ocular ischemic syndrome. And a neoplastic, it's again lymphoma, lymphoid, that is lymphomas, and a non-lymphoid, that is uveal melanoma and retinoblastoma. So that is about masquerade syndrome, in which we have non-immune mediated cause and we have non-neoplastic and neoplastic causes. That is about all the types of classifications.